Now at 5:30, the aftermath of the deadliest balloon accident in U.S. history. 16 people killed when a hot air balloon caught fire and crashed into a Texas field. Authorities know at least part of the balloon hit power lines before it crashed, but they don't know if that fire happened before or after impact.
And this evening, we're also learning a whole lot more about the 16 people who died, all of them found near the balloon's basket. Tonight, KTLA 5's Kirk Hawkins reports.
A hot air balloon ride is a highlight, a bucket list experience, and a gift for several passengers on Skip Nichols' flight Saturday morning. Matt and Sunday Rowan posting photos on Snapchat.
Even down to the last minutes, there were still pictures of them smiling, laughing.
Matt's brother says the young couple from San Antonio married less than 6 months ago. Matt was a burn treatment researcher and chemistry professor.
He was ripped away from us far too early.
They leave behind Sunday's 5-year-old son. The balloon ride was Sunday's birthday gift to Matt.
If we start to think about what happened in those last few moments, like the only thing that saved us is thinking, sorry, I have chills. The only thing that saved us is thinking that they were together.
Those who played beach volleyball with Matt say he had a tournament Saturday but never showed.
It's so hard for me to think that he's not going to be there with us. And it feels like I'm going to see Matt tomorrow. You know, he's going to show up.
Laura Lee Brabson and her daughter Paige were also from San Antonio and on the flight, according to family. Paige had her first child a few months ago. She gave her mom the balloon ride as a gift on Mother's Day. Friends and family are also mourning the loss of the pilot, Skip Nichols, his best friend and roommate, who helped load the 15 passengers, telling KTLA he was a great pilot.
And that was Kirk Hawkins reporting this evening. Right now, investigators are focusing in on 3 factors: the balloon itself, the company operating it, and the weather.
Back locally, an elderly couple in Sun Valley has died from injuries they sustained in a house fire over the weekend. The blaze sparked around 8 o'clock Saturday night in La Tuna Canyon. Firefighters rescued the couple from the flames, but they later died at the hospital. A woman who tried to break into the home and rescue the couple suffered smoke inhalation and burned fingers and was rushed to the hospital. A firefighter also suffered minor injuries at the scene.
There's a warning this evening for women on the UC Riverside campus. Police say that there have been 3 incidents since June 3rd of a man recording women inside 2 different campus restrooms. In each case, the man held a cell phone underneath the bathroom stall and tried to record his victims. The only description that we have of the suspect right now is that his hands were very large and light-skinned. He was also wearing blue jeans and a black Lacoste brand slip-on shoe. I should say pair of shoes right there. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Riverside Police Department.
Be prepared for traffic delays around LAX this month. That's because workers will be closing parts of Century Boulevard in the overnight hours. KTLA 5's Dave Meekum joins us live near the airport with what you can expect. Hi, Dave.
Court, even at this hour, Century Boulevard, something, and then the bridge. Do you remember the old one? It was a train bridge, and now it's a kind of a different deal up there. This is Century and Aviation, and that old bridge came down, making way for Metro's Crenshaw LAX line. As the city continues on its path building Metro rail lines, years in the making, the price to be paid isn't only in dollars, there are the delays.
You better plan ahead.
LAX frontwoman Mary Grady just putting it out there. Century Boulevard's full overnight stoppages, either westbound or eastbound, for nearly a month will test this already congested corridor between the 405 and one of the world's busiest airports.
Airport police 24/7 are going to be tweeting about the road conditions and any issues.
Here's July 2014, KTLA covering the old train bridge demolition along Aviation at Century. This latest chapter for the Crenshaw LAX Transit Project means weeknight Century Boulevard closures through August 27th, 11 p.m. until 6 in the morning. The detours will be manned by officers.
The light isn't going to take place in this because you're going to have so many cars trying to make the turns on those alternate routes that it's just going to get backed up. So they're going to have to manually control those intersections.
Full westbound and eastbound Century closures near Aviation alternate about every 7 days. And here's the westbound detour beginning tonight. It includes Airport Boulevard, Arborvitae, and Aviation, and making it all the more challenging, Century through Inglewood, east of the 405, and roadwork there. Talking big picture, more growth for Metro, and now a second line approaching one of the world's most visited airports.
So the Crenshaw LAX Transit Project actually goes from the existing Expo line at Exposition and Crenshaw Boulevards, and it travels roughly through the city of Inglewood and then out to the city of El Segundo and meets up with the Green Line near the 105 airport in Imperial Avenue.
And just the numbers, about 250,000 visitors pass through LAX every single day. Huge numbers, and of course Century Boulevard, one of the very main arterials. So a busy place over the next month. Near LAX, Dave Meek of KTLA 5 News.
Time right now for Consumer Confidential with LA Times business columnist David Lazarus.
He joins us live from the LA Times newsroom. And Laz, a very big merger between Tesla and Solar City. What should consumers look out for?
Well, on the one hand, this looks like it's a pretty slick deal for consumers. It's a $2.6 billion merger. Tesla doing the buying. It's acquiring Solar City. So you can see natural things. I mean, electric cars, solar power. Tesla's already looking at ways to put solar technology onto the roof of the Tesla so that it charges up from the sun. That all makes a lot of sense. Also, one-stop shopping. You'd go to a Tesla showroom. You'd also be able to buy solar equipment for your home and elsewhere. Batteries. You can see the synergy. So for consumers, yeah, smart deal. For investors, that's where this thing becomes a little bit more questionable. And that's because, well, quite simply, Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, is also the man behind Solar City. He owns about 21% of Solar City. He is the company's chairman. Moreover, Solar City is run by his cousins. So some investors see this as Tesla sort of paying off Elon Musk and Elon Musk's family members, and that's a little weird. Musk, for his part, says, no, the deal's a good one because of what it does is it eliminates conflicts of interest because it puts everything under one roof. We'll see about that. For what it's worth, Solar City stock down about 7% today.
David, the biggest rideshare company in China has acquired the rights to Uber in China. Is this a win or a loss for Uber?
Mark, this one's really interesting because Uber has been fighting really hard in China, obviously a very important market. Uber says they've been losing about $1 billion a year trying to get a foothold over there, but their biggest competitor, a Chinese company called Didi Chuxing, just dominates the market. They have about 85% market share for ride sharing over there. So Uber was never really able to get the toehold it needed to compete. So now they're allowing Didi to buy out Uber, take over Uber's operations there. Uber, in turn, will have a roughly 20% stake in this merged company. Obviously, this creates a powerhouse over there in China. It gives Uber, here in America, a big stake in what is potentially going to be a very lucrative investment. But most importantly, what it does is it frees Uber up. Obviously, they just weren't going to win that fight. They knew it. Everybody knows it. So now Uber is able to take its resources, take its investments, and look elsewhere. And so this is looked at as a win for everybody except Lyft, Uber's big competitor here in the U.S. Now that Uber's been freed up from all the money it was spending over there in China, Lyft is feeling like there's going to be a lot more pressure on this side of the Pacific.
Interesting. And Laz, what's this about Amazon muscling past Exxon to create an all-tech top 5? What's that mean?
Total sign of the times, Courtney. I mean, you couldn't have imagined this even just 50 years ago. The top 5 companies in the United States by market capitalization are now all tech companies. And what's amazing here is that Amazon has pushed its way past ExxonMobil. So now you've got Exxon becoming less valuable and Amazon now being more valuable than venerable ExxonMobil. The top 5 companies, again by market cap, which means how much their shares are worth in total. Number 1, Apple, obviously. Number 2, Google. Number 3, Microsoft. Number 4, now Amazon. Number 5, another tech company, that's Facebook. And then finally you get to ExxonMobil. So it's a pretty remarkable sweep by the tech companies and a clear reflection of the priorities of the U.S. economy, at least at this particular point in time.
And David, would you blame that on falling oil prices as well? Is that why Exxon is having this slump, if you will?
I would say that the oil prices have created a lot of uncertainty, but at the same time, we're looking at investors who want growth. There is not a lot of growth in the oil business. However, you look at tech, you look at Amazon, and you think, boy, this company, they just keep reinventing themselves. Sky's the limit. That's where investors want their money at the moment.
Yeah, there's lots of people, including myself, who heart Amazon. David, thank you so much. Have a great day. Time now to check in with Casey. He's got to look at our forecast.
Well, we were expecting to see some pop-up thunderstorms. There was a slight chance this afternoon, not widespread, but we are still seeing a little bit of activity in the Lucerne Valley. Also, you can't see it, the number 5's covering it up, but through the 29 Palms area right now, we are seeing a little bit of activity, and that's because of all this instability in the atmosphere. We could see the same thing tomorrow and maybe even into Wednesday, so just look out for that. Today, we made it up to 85 degrees, so we're getting near normal of 84 degrees for this time of year. And temperatures right now, we're seeing 80s and 90s across the board, 82 degrees in Fullerton, 90 degrees in Riverside, and it is still 100 degrees in Victorville. Details on when we are going to finally have that cool down coming up.
All right, Casey, thanks. Coming up on the KTLA 5 News at 5.
A bold promise from Denny's. What they're offering up to customers if you don't love their new pancakes. You'll want to hear this.
And speaking of food, a little boy is baking his way to a better life. It's such a great story. You're going to hear his emotional reason why he needs the money and how you can help. That's when our newscast returns in just a few minutes.